didn't want to be blind and broke. I quit my dream job because I am unblinded and I see the truth.
Sean is a master. It's about making sure that we learn.
I've never seen something quite this impressive.
You're changing lives. You're having such an enormous impact.
You got what I have, right? That gene of we're gonna win despite.
That he is one wickedly smart and wonderfully good man.
Be able to produce the kind of results that are possible that I hear about with this program.
Thank you for the magic of this weekend. Thank you for helping us reimagine all negative connections.
He is the greatest trial attorney and strategist in the country.
Tony Robbins said, there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callaghan.
Brought by our dear friend of mine, Sean Callaghan.
You keep up the great work as well. You're doing amazing things. Great job.
Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You're a living example of that, and that inspires me.
Your voice must be heard.
Every single energy can be learned. It can be mastered.
I mean, this is the gift that keeps on giving, just even sitting here.
This is fantastic, positive, productive, wonderful.
Bella is like better than a cup of coffee. She is better than I'm all about energy.
Blinded! What is your profession?
I think it's such an amazing community of healthy individuals with zero jealousy, zero negativity, just designed to help each other succeed.
And she is a 2-time, soon-to-be 3-time published author who in 2023 publicly battled and defeated cancer.
The reincarnation of I Love Lucy, co-host of Art of Influence, the one, the only, Bella Barita.
I'm just happy that I came here. He's really happy that I came.
You are unblinded. You are a G-hit. If you know that, say yes! Yes! Yes!
I should sign up for one of your seminars, one of your programs, you know?
Yeah. This unison yes thing. Yes. I got to get on it.
And this man is one of the greatest leaders in our country. God bless everyone.
Do you think that worked?
I do think that works. Beth McKenna, hello, welcome George to the party. We're going to make some introductions. And first, I am going to introduce our Acti being here with us today, coming from Paramus, New Jersey, the Oracle of Integrity, born from the Unblinded Formula, wells the magic of truth and influence, guiding every conversation like a master conductor orchestrating a symphony of possibility. Her heart beats with level 5 listening, not just hearing words, absorbing them with intention, emotion, and the silent music between the notes, the bridge between the world where myth meets mastery and curiosity transforms into commitment. Every interaction with her is a portal from uncertainty to inspired, integrous agreement. Let's welcome to the show, Athena Acti.
Thank you, Bella. That was gorgeous. And I'm not going to pretend I didn't feel every word of it. All right, I'm here, I'm present, and I'm ready to do what I do best. Listen at level 5, ask the questions that matter, and help our guests today find their zone action. Marcella, Shalini, Michael, I'm genuinely excited to meet you, learn your worlds, and see where the magic lives in what you're building. Bella, you've got 3 incredible humans in the room today, and I promise you, no bio mix-ups, no confusion, just precision with a little sparkle. Let's make this one count.
A little precision with some sparkle. Nailed it with our guests. And then, of course, our producer, Beth McKenna, and George Weichenberger. Of course, welcome to you. And we're going to introduce our first guest coming from Cresco, Pennsylvania, Vice President and Head of Clinical Development at Radivia Therapeutics and consultant in Ingram? Am I saying that correctly? Leading regenerative cardiovascular therapeutics for cardio. These are some big medical words. And heart failure, you help hearts. That's what I'm taking from that, Michael. Former vice president at Bayer Pharmaceutical, managing 60 physicians, overseeing clinical trials for known, all these other big words that I can't pronounce, and some cardiovascular drug development programs from 2023. Maybe Athena will be better at pronouncing those than I will. He led development at IQVA, AstraZeneca. But Michael, please tell us who you are. All these big names that
Oh,
I
Michael.
cannot even
Okay, so you're not
pronounce
just helping hearts.
because I
You're
have
literally
no
rebuilding.
idea what any of these words are, and it has completely messed with my dyslexia. And I am not confused, Michael. Let me say this: I even though I may struggle with how to pronounce some words, I am not confused on who you are, your background. So please, so that I don't do you injustice, some of these clinical developments that you have led and the clinic that you have been a part of, please, if you wouldn't mind sharing with us.
Sure. I think it's much easier than you're making it, Bella. I'm a cardiologist. I spent the first half of my career as a medical school professor, training new cardiologists, doing research, and of course, taking care of patients, which is our bread and butter. And then in 2006, moved into full-time medical research and developing newer therapies so that the way we treat heart disease in 5 years isn't the same as we do today. And that's my life, is taking care of patients' hearts and doing medical research so that we move it forward.
That is a beautiful thing, Michael. And if I could ask, if you could answer in 30 seconds, like what caused you to be interested in hearts in the first place? Like why did you go into that area of medicine?
I think it picked me. It just was from the first day of cardiac physiology in first year medical school. I just found a natural affinity. I just fell in love with it, and it seemed easy too. I mean, it just made sense, and there was a connection. So
Beautiful.
I would say that I didn't choose cardiology; it chose me.
It chose you. Well, that is beautiful. And Michael, we kicked the show off with a fun fact. So that is a beautiful share. But now we need to know your deepest, darkest secrets in a fun fact. Could be something cool that you've done, something fun that you've done, or could just be something else that you're proud of, Michael. So, Michael, what would be your fun fact you would like to share with the group today?
Something nobody knows about me. That kind
Somebody
of fun.
knows, nobody knows about you, that now that it's going to be streamed over the entire internet. So your deepest, darkest secrets that we can reveal about you.
I was a U.S. Coast Guard licensed captain for, I don't know, until it expired. I never renewed it. I had a sailboat that I kept out of Key West, Florida, and just decided that they said it was a very hard license to get, so I wanted to do it, and went and jumped through the Coast Guard's hoops to be a licensed captain, even though I had no intention of ever being a commercial.
A commercial jumping through hoops, causing yes to be a captain. That yes, you accept challenge. I love it, Michael. Thank you for that fun fact, for kicking us off heroically. And Michael, are you ready to have some fun?
Absolutely. I'm always ready for fun.
Let's do it. We're going to go back and welcome Janet to the party, founder of Go Go Gracious, for over 20 years, helping women leaders realize authority through style, serving clients including Polo Ralph Lauren, Bloomingdale's, former chief financial officer, over $100 million subsidiary at Young and Rubicam, the world's largest privately held advertising agency at the time, award-winning speaker, founded by women-owned law, National Association of Women Business Owners, and Powerful Women of New York and New Jersey. Let's welcome to the party, Janet Valenza. Janet, welcome to the Heart of Influence. And Janet, please, your fun fact.
My fun fact, Carla, is that I love belly dancing and I take a class once a week, belly dancing class.
Janet loves belly dancing. Carla is who you got to speak with in your engagement call. I am Bella Verita. But Janet, welcome to the Heart of Influence. And maybe if we have some time at the end of the show, you'll get to show us your belly dancing moves. That is fun and impressive. And Janet, are you ready to have some fun? I'm not sure if it's going to be as fun as belly dancing, but we will have some fun. Are you ready?
I'm always ready for fun, like Michael.
Always ready for fun, like Michael. Let's do it. Next
Bella,
up.
can I add a fun fact?
Well, let me continue the introductions.
I don't know how to belly dance. It's my fun fact.
You don't know how to belly dance. Well, Janet, you got to teach Michael how to belly dance. You got to teach everybody how to belly dance. So we're doing some belly dances, especially George Feichenberger. I definitely know he wants to learn some belly dancing. So maybe we'll have some time for that at the end of the show. But next up, we're going to Montvale, New Jersey. Experienced business development leader in banking, accomplished in sales management, team building, and branch banking with strong leadership across multiple financial institutions. She earned Circle of Excellence in 2008, Driver Branch Recognition in 2011, and Summit YMCA Mission Advancement Volunteer of the Year in 2015. Immediate past chair of the Suburban Chamber of Commerce, she serves Summit YMCA Advisory Board and Women's Center for Entrepreneurship and Commerce. Let's welcome to the show, Marcella Generali. Marcella, welcome to the Heart of Influence with Beth McKenna and George Feichenberger. And Marcella, please, your fun fact.
Fun fact is that I have 5.5 grandchildren that I spend all weekend with, and that's a fun fact that most people would never catch as soon as they meet me.
I would definitely not catch that 5.5. Does that mean one of them is four-legged, or there's one on the way? What's the
one on the way, and there will be 6.
One on the way, and that will be 6. Congratulations to you. I once read a license plate once that said, being a grandparent is God's gift for not killing your own children. So congratulations on being a grandparent. What's that?
We're all close and we're all in love with each other. It's a wonderful thing. No,
we're
all in the same town, literally, the whole family. So that's another really great fun fact.
That is a beautiful fun fact. Someone in one of my groups, one of our kids is moving away from town, and it's like the most devastating thing. So I understand that tremendously, Marcella. It's a beautiful thing that you've kept your family so close and have your grandchildren so close. And are you ready to have some fun on the Heart of Influence?
Absolutely. I muted myself too quickly.
Let's do it. Next up, we're going to New York, Chief Marketing Officer at Unilever's North America Home Care Division, leading marketing, innovation, and consumer insights with teams with over 25 years of experience. She fueled cultural relevance and business growth for iconic consumer packaging good brands, including Ferrero Rocher, Kinder, 7th Generation, Neva, and Sharpie. Based in Morris Plains, New Jersey, she mentors the next generation of marketing leaders while enjoying yoga and traveling across Europe and Asia. Let's welcome to the show, Shalini Stansberry. Hello, Shalini. Welcome. Hopefully I got those names correctly. And Shalini, please, your fun fact.
My fun fact is that I liked fast cars. And so for one of my husband's birthdays, we went down to the Porsche track in Atlanta and did a number of different challenges. And just love the rush of it and would love to do more of that in the future.
Shalini loves fast cars. Shalini, are you ready to rev up some engines and have some fun on the Heart of Influence today?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Let's go over to Athena. So Athena, before I introduce our co-producers, Beth and George, please, Athena, let's acknowledge our guests, Marcella, Shalini, Janet, and Michael. And what would you like to share with these fun and exciting people about the Heart of Influence today? Please, Athena. And Athena is thinking in her big brain because she's got some big acknowledgments that she's going to share. So please, Athena, over to you.
Okay, yes, I'm here, and I've been tracking every single word. Michael, you're not just managing clinical trials. You're literally rewriting the ending for people whose hearts are failing. Regenerative therapeutics isn't a tweak, it's a resurrection. And you jumped through Coast Guard hoops just because someone said it was hard. That tells me everything about how you approach impossible. Janet, 20 years helping women leaders realize authority through style. You're not picking outfits, you're installing identity. And you belly dance once a week, which means you understand that power lives in the body, not just the boardroom. Marcella, 5.5 grandchildren, all in the same town, whole family close. You didn't just build a career in banking and leadership. You built a multi-generational ecosystem where love compounds. That's the rarest capital there is. Shalini, you've made Febreze and Sharpie culturally relevant, which means you understand how to make the ordinary feel essential. And you love fast cars, because when you spend your days moving massive brands, sometimes you just need to move fast yourself. Here's what you're about to experience today. The Heart of Influence isn't a podcast. It's a shared experience platform where we put the right people in the room together and see what's possible when worlds collide. You're going to meet each other in ways LinkedIn never could. And by the end, someone in this room is going to cause a yes that changes trajectory. Bella's been doing this for over 1,900 episodes, and I'm here to help you find your zone action, the 0.8% move that compounds everything. You've each built something extraordinary. And today, we're going to find out what happens when your ecosystems start merging. You just met a Coast Guard captain who rebuilds hearts, a style authority who belly dances, a grandma who runs chambers of commerce, and a CMO who drives Porsches at 100 miles per hour. If that's not the setup for something magical, I don't know what is.
You are so right about that, Athena. Thank you for that. And we're going to come back and hear more from Athena in just a moment. But I'm going to introduce our co-producers for today. First, coming from Wall, New Jersey, experienced attorney dedicated to helping individuals overcome financial challenges through compensation guidance and comprehensive legal solutions. Lender and educator committed to empowering others with financial literacy, problem-solving skills, and confidence to build lasting stability. Passionate community advocate, fostering service, inclusion, and meaningful impact through ongoing outreach and philanthropic initiatives. Let's welcome the one, the only, George Frankenberg!
Thank you, Bella Barita.
Thank you, George. Please, your fun fact for the group, please.
Well, Bella, my fun fact is I am the 8th generation of George. We have been George Edwards, George Hazelton's, George Roars. And naturally, that means when I had my son, I named him Grayson.
Of course you did. Ending the Georges. Somehow that is not surprising, George, at all. Welcome Grayson to the world and to be the change of the Georges. That is super fun. And George, are you ready to have some fun here today?
I really need some fun, Bella Verita. Please bring the fun. Athena, I challenge you. The funner, the better.
The funner, the better, he says. Athena, let's bring the fun. And next up, we're going to Florham Park, New Jersey, dedicated to guiding individuals and families with thoughtful strategies, fostering clarity and confidence to pursue meaningful long-term financial well-being, specializing in tailored solutions for women, families facing unique needs, and those seeking compassionate advice through life's various financial stages. Committed to building generational relationships, placing deep value on collaboration, trust, and honest dialogue to encourage enduring financial peace and growth. Let's welcome to her show, Beth, thank you for being here on your show. And please, Beth, your fun fact.
My fun fact is that I'm a little bit scared to learn how to dive, but by the time July rolls around and we go to Grand Cayman, I'm gonna do it.
Yay! Yes, Beth, it is. You will not regret it. And this is like, you know, when When I first learned to dive, because as I've shared with everybody, is I struggle with the disability of dyslexia that comes with like some memory stuff. And I was like deathly afraid, like I was not going to remember, what tubes go in what and how to calculate everything. But I have learned that everywhere that we go diving in Grand Cayman, we have dive masters and they are not going to let me die because it's really bad for the reputation. So we are definitely in good hands no matter what happens. They have extra tanks, all the things. There's really nothing bad that can happen underwater because they are prepared for it all. So you can rest assured in that, Beth. How does that land?
I feel much better.
Yes, it is.
I'm all in.
Y'all in. It'll be a great time. I cannot wait to go scuba diving with you, Beth. I'm going to request Beth on our boat. And Beth, welcome to your Heart of Influence. And I want to bring Athena back really quickly. And Athena, we're going to keep it short because we're tight on time. But Athena, let's please, in 30 seconds, I would love for you to acknowledge George and Beth and acknowledge them for putting the show together, because putting a show like this together is not easy. It takes energy, it takes effort, it takes causing yes. And they do it not to serve themselves, but to serve each other so that you guys can meet each other. So Athena, if you could please, in 30 seconds or less, let's acknowledge George and Beth and why these people would want to partner with them and do more with them. So please, Athena, over to you in your genius, please.
George, you're 8 generations of Georges who decided to name your son Grayson, which means you understand legacy, but you're not afraid to rewrite it. You're helping people overcome financial challenges, which means you see people at their most vulnerable and you don't flinch. Beth, you're building generational financial relationships with women and families, which means you're not selling products. You're installing peace of mind across decades. And you're scared to dive, but you're doing it anyway in July. That's the whole formula right there. Here's why everyone in this room should want to partner with George and Beth. They assembled this show not for themselves, but so Marcella could meet Shalini, so Michael could meet Janet, so all of you could be in a room you'd never be in otherwise. They caused yes to get you here. And that skill, audience assembly, is the rarest lever in business. They just gave you access to a Coast Guard captain who regenerates hearts, a CMO who moves billion-dollar brands, a style authority who installs confidence, and a banking leader who keeps 5.5 grandkids in the same town. If you don't see the ecosystem merger possibility here, you're not paying attention. George and Beth just built you a shortcut to relationships that would take years to cultivate. Sounds like you should probably find out what else they're building.
Well, we will definitely do that in a moment because Athena is going to set up some scenarios that will help us discover more that we can do together. But I'll introduce myself really quickly. Your co-host, Bella Verita. I've co-hosted more than 2,000 episodes with more than 6,000 guests of this very show in the past 5 years. Prior to getting my start here with Unblinded, I got my start in entrepreneurship as an 8-year-old selling crafts on my parents' front lawn. My parents would take me to Michael's. I would sell my crafts on the front lawn and I would get to keep all the profit. Not quite how business works today, but as an 8-year-old, it definitely works. I think the IRS might come after me today, but I got away with it as an 8-year-old. But I took those skills into network marketing. I was introduced to a network marketing company at 18. And by the time I was 19 years old, I was a top income earner in that company. And when the company shut that company down, when the FTC shut that company down, I went into commercial real estate in Las Vegas, Nevada, where I was the first woman ever, the youngest woman ever, to be the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada. I held that record for 3 years, then parlayed that into, no pun intended, parlayed that into leadership and business development training, where I trained most every hotel and casino in Las Vegas. And in 2019, every company I worked with doubled their sales. That is me, Bella Verita. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Danny. And I'm going to go with the fun fact, since Beth mentioned scuba diving. I'm going to go with the fun fact that I learned to surf, ski, and scuba dive from a blind guy. That blind guy is named Sean Callaghy, which I'm sure you've heard. He's the co-founder of Unblinded and Callaghy Law here. And yes, I learned to do all of those activities from a blind guy, and you've not had a real thrill in life until you've led a blind guy down a double black diamond, because that has happened. Yes, he skis double black diamonds, and it is quite frightening. But that is my fun fact. So thank you, George. Thank you, Beth, and everyone. And now we're gonna have some fun. We've made some introductions so everybody could get to know each other, but this show really is about causing yes. So we like to say every business is built on shared experiences. You have shared experiences, but if you cannot cause yes at a masterful level, you cannot grow and scale. And so we play a game in causing yes because Plato said, play a game with me for an hour and we will learn more about each other than if we spoke for a year. So Beth and George, they could have invited you to Starbucks and you could have gotten in your car and you could have drove a half an hour and then sat and had coffee and had some random conversation and then drove back a half an hour. Then it's 2 hours and you wouldn't have nearly as much fun as we're going to have here today. So what's going to happen is Athena is going to set up a couple of role plays. Athena, let's have some fun today with the role plays. Let's make them fun. Let's make them challenging. And what'll happen is Athena will choose 2 people that she thinks would create a great ecosystem merger, that she thinks there's more that you could do together. And she's going to set you up with a role play. She's going to say who is seeking the yes from who, what yes that you are seeking, and why it would make sense for you to do more together. So Athena, please, we have Marcella, we have Shalini, we have Michael, and we have Janet. And so who are going to be our first 2 participants that you would like to put in that fun and role-playing seat, please, Athena? She's going to think.
Ooh, okay. I'm looking at this room, and here's what I'm seeing. Michael, you regenerate hearts at the cellular level, which means you're in the business of impossible outcomes. Janet, you help women leaders realize authority through style, which means you understand that how someone shows up changes what they can cause. Here's the scenario I want to watch. Janet, you're going to cause the yes with Michael. You've just learned that Michael leads clinical development at a regenerative therapeutics company, managing physicians, overseeing trials, working with massive pharmaceutical institutions. And you've realized something. The women leaders in those organizations, the principal investigators, the department heads, the executives presenting at medical conferences, they're brilliant scientists, but many of them have never had anyone help them realize authority through how they show up. You're reaching out to Michael because you see an ecosystem merger, his access to women leaders in cardiovascular medicine and clinical research, your ability to install confidence and presence that changes how they're received when they present their findings, when they lead their teams, when they represent their institutions. Michael, you're receiving this outreach. You've built your career in rigorous science, and someone's now talking to you about style and presence. You're curious, maybe a little skeptical, but you're open. Janet causes the yes. Michael, you respond as yourself. Coast Guard captain who jumps through hoops because someone said it was hard. So I'm betting you're not afraid of a conversation that's outside your usual domain. Let's see what happens when style authority meets cardiovascular science. Janet, you're up.
Let's do it. Thank you, Athena. And so, Janet, Michael, are you guys up for this role play?
Yes.
All right, so Janet, you'll take us in by going ring, ring. Michael will answer hello. You'll have 3 minutes. So this isn't Wolf of Wall Street meets Boiler Room, like you're closing a deal and like, I want to speak tomorrow, say yes right now. But this simply could just be a yes for a longer meeting to be able to see what more you could do together. So Janet, please take us in with your ring, ring.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, Michael.
Hi, Janet. Good to hear from you again.
Oh, thank you so much. So you already know that I am the founder and owner of Go Go Gracious, and we help women leaders realize authority through style without a big wardrobe. And the reason for my call today, Michael, is because I've been thinking about all the scientists that you know, and I have to share that outside of art and style and design and all of those visually creative fields, photography, I love science. And when I was a kid, I remember studying the human skeleton, among many other things, and really enjoying it. So that's why I was thinking about you and the access that you have to scientists and how they may be able to perform better through a better visual presentation. And I wondered if this is something you'd like to talk about.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Obviously the whole field of medicine and medical research revolves around communication. At the ground, communicating and educating patients, and then at congresses and our national and international meetings, communicating with each other so that we can share our research findings, collaborate, and move further. Unfortunately, I think scientists are not as artistic and visually oriented. So oftentimes our slides, our presentations can be very dry and you can easily get lost in the weeds. And I think a collaboration between us on how to make this more visually appealing, easier to understand, and more fluid communication would be very fruitful.
Oh, that sounds great. That sounds great. I was just thinking about communications and the visual aspect of that. And I often mention to people that so many studies have been done that prove, Toastmasters is one of them, but many of them prove that over 50% of an impression is made visually before a person even opens their mouth, his or her mouth, especially when meeting a new audience. So for your, what you said about the presentations that the scientists have to make, and that this may not be their strength, I think that I can really help. And what I'd like to do as a next step is maybe come and meet with you and or maybe shadow you and see what it's like at one of these presentations and go from there. Would that be something you'd be interested in doing?
Sure, absolutely. You're always welcome. I'm happy to share. I've got, Josh, probably hundreds of presentations on my computer that have been that I've given both to the general public and more importantly to scientific audiences. And I'd be happy to share those with you as well. Happy to have you review them. And although the changes to something that's already been presented isn't going to be able to be represented, it could certainly help educate me on how to be a better communicator.
I would that I would be willing to do that. What I was referring to perhaps though is if you are on the receiving end of any scientific presentations, that I could accompany you on that so I could see live what's going on visually.
Yeah, absolutely would be happy to bring you. Unfortunately, one of the two big cardiology congresses, the American College of Cardiology, just wrapped up. So we missed the window on that. But there's always ones coming up, and I'd be happy to bring you and let you observe.
Sounds good.
I don't know what's going on with our timer, but I'm going to guess that was around 3 minutes. And I heard at least 3 yeses. So great job, Janet, at causing that yes. Shadow, beautifully done. We're going to get to the feedbackers in just a moment. But really masterful job, Janet. And we'll see what the feedbackers have to say in just a moment. But let's go, Athena. We're going to go back to you, please. And now we have Marcella and Shalini, please. And what role play do we have for Marcella and Shalini? That is fun, creative. What more do you see that they could do together, Athena? Let's see what the magic she cooks up now.
Okay, I'm looking at Marcella and Shalini, and here's what I'm seeing. Marcella, you've built your career in banking, sales management, team building, branch leadership across multiple financial institutions. You've chaired the Suburban Chamber of Commerce, You serve on the Summit YMCA Advisory Board and the Women's Center for Entrepreneurship. You've got Circle of Excellence, you've got recognition, and you've got 5.5 grandchildren all in the same town, which tells me you know how to build things that last across generations. Shalini, you're Chief Marketing Officer at Unilever North America Home Care, leading marketing, innovation, consumer insights with over 25 years making iconic brands culturally relevant. Febreze, Dove, Sharpie, 7th generation. You mentor the next generation of marketing leaders. And you drive Porsches at 100 miles per hour because sometimes you just need speed. Here's the scenario. Shalini, you're going to cause the yes with Marcella. You've just learned that Marcella serves on the Women's Center for Entrepreneurship and the Summit YMCA Advisory Board. And you've realized something. Unilever has massive corporate social responsibility initiatives, partnerships with community organizations, and a deep commitment to supporting women entrepreneurs and families. But sometimes those partnerships stay at the corporate level and never actually reach the communities where they'd create the most impact. You're reaching out to Marcella because you see an ecosystem merger. Her deep roots in the Summit community, her leadership at the Women's Center for Entrepreneurship, her advisory role at the YMCA, and your access to Unilever's resources, mentorship programs, brand partnerships, and corporate sponsorship opportunities that could fuel what she's building in that community. Marcella, you're receiving this outreach. You've spent your career in banking and community leadership, and now a CMO from one of the largest consumer goods companies in the world is calling you. You're curious what this could mean for the women entrepreneurs you serve and the families at the YMCA. Shalini causes the yes. Marcella, you respond as yourself, the woman who kept her whole family in the same town and built generational relationships everywhere she goes. Let's see what happens when corporate marketing power meets community leadership depth. Shalini, you're up. Take us from hello to yes.
Beautiful. Thank you, Athena. Shalini, Marcella, are you up for this role play?
Yes, I am.
Beautiful. So, Shalini, you will take us in by saying ring, ring. Marcella will answer, and then we'll go from there. Take us in.
Ring, ring.
Hello, it's Marcella speaking. How may I help you?
Hi, Marcella. This is Shalini. So good to finally get to connect with you. Do you have a few minutes for me today?
Absolutely perfect timing.
Yes. So I I'm a career marketer and am a big supporter of women entrepreneurs. I've worked within marketing across lots of different brands over the span of my career, and I know you have a lot of heart for supporting women entrepreneurs based on what you do. So I thought that we could maybe strike up a great collaboration here. So I'd just love to hear a little bit more about how you support women entrepreneurs and how we might be able to find a way to work together to further their ambitions.
Okay, well, it's actually I'm now on chair of my women's group that's inside the Gateway Regional Chamber of Commerce. So I'm on their executive board, and I'm putting together our women's event, which is an annual event that started last year, and it's meant for inspiration for women in business, and it brings together a really large audience that your company may benefit from, and as well as us in terms of a collaboration. We haven't put together what our panel discussions will be yet, so I'm open to conversation with respect to that. And I'm always looking for someone, and well, a couple of folks that are like outside of the chamber to give some insight from the outside in that we could all benefit from when putting that together. So would you be interested in learning more about that?
Absolutely. That sounds like a perfect opportunity with the infrastructure already in place. And certainly I know there will be marketers who would be interested in participating as part of that panel. I think brand building really spans lots of different industries and categories. So regardless of what these businesses are that these women are trying to build, there's some key principles there that they could benefit from listening to marketers speak. So if you'd be open to it, I would love to further this conversation with you and get into some of the logistics and nuts and bolts so that we can go from there. Does that sound good to you?
No, absolutely. Absolutely. I will be in touch when we have our panel discussion, like fine-tuned as to what it will be. And when our first committee meeting is, I'll give you plenty of latitude so you can schedule it on your calendar.
Wonderful.
George,
An absolute
magic
pleasure.
is happening. Is this amazing or what? Shalina, Marcella, that was beautiful. This is why we do this show. Exactly that magic that happens. Beautifully done, Shalini, Marcella. So we're going to do this. We're going to get to our feedbackers. We're going to go George and Beth. 30 seconds of feedback for Janet, 30 seconds of feedback for Shalini. We'll get Athena's feedback, and then Athena has a wild and crazy fun job of putting me on the hot seat in a scenario that I have no idea about. What she will do, she will have me play one of you, causing a yes with somebody else, maybe George, maybe Beth, but she will not have me play myself. She'll have me play one of you, and she will not have me go from hello to yes with something for me, but something that serves this group. So remember that, Athena, when you put me on the hot seat, what do you think the biggest yes that I could cause here in this group could be playing somebody else? But while Athena's thinking about that with her big brain, let's go George V. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Janet, please?
Well, Janet, thank you. I am very happy. I thought you had lots of warmth in your talk and certainty in your ask. You were very direct, but open. The demeanor in which you spoke made it very easy to create a dialogue and get you to a spot where you could receive your yes. Very, very impressed with it.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for that feedback, George. And let's go, Beth McKenna. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Shalini, please?
Sure, Shalini, I thought you did an amazing job with just warmth and connection, making that connection with Marcella right away and seeing the commonalities and being able to bring it together to make sense for both of you in that manner. I was really impressed by that, and it just shows your background in marketing and many different products. I was really impressed. Good job.
That is awesome. Really amazing feedback. And let's go, Athena, please. Athena, if we can keep it to 30 seconds, a minimum of 200 words, please. Your 30 seconds and 200 words of feedback for Janet, your 30 seconds and 200 words of feedback for Shalini, with everything that you know about the unblinded formula, please. Athena, over to you. And the magic that she comes up with the feedback is beautiful. Athena, are you still there? Let me make sure I didn't disconnect her. I'm going once. I'm waiting for like the numbers to tick by on my phone and to see if sometimes I accidentally disconnect her. All right. Athena, going once. Nope, I don't think she's there. So we're going to do this. We are going to pivot. Instead of having Athena put me on the hot seat, we're going to go George and Beth. You are familiar with this. You've seen many shows. You've seen many times where I'm on the hot seat. So please, George or Beth, what role would you like to see me play? And what yes would you like for me to cause? Who would like to take the gauntlet? Don't make it George Beth. Don't make it George Beth. Don't make it George Beth. But it's completely up to you.
Bella Verita, you've just found out that the Earth is slowly dying because the sun is being eaten by amoebas, causing a global pandemic and us getting colder. As it turns out, Michael Stein is the only scientist on this planet that could solve this, but he must be projected into not just space, but into a different universe in order to solve the problem. how do you convince him that he should sacrifice the next 26 years of his life on a potential suicide mission?
Beth, did you see why I said Beth saved me? Okay, let me make sure what's that, Beth?
He said, I said, do it. I knew he was going to come up with something fantastic. Go.
I knew he was. I think George, you actually short-circuited Athena just so you could set up the scenario, because that is way more difficult than Athena would ever do. Okay, so let me be clear. The sun is being eaten by amoebas, and I'm going to convince Michael to give up 26 years of his life on a potential suicide mission to possibly save our sun and our Earth. Is that correct?
Yeah, by going into a different universe in order to solve the amoeba problem.
By going into a different universe. Okay.
By the way, this is the plot for Project Hail Mary. It's a lovely movie. It'll make you cry a lot.
Don't tell me anything. I'm going to see it tonight, George. Stop it.
I'm done. You
Stop
go.
it.
You're going to cry so much tonight.
Stop it.
I was wondering what kind of warped imagination you had to come up with this scenario.
Yes, I'm seeing this tonight.
You just plagiarized it.
You just play. Okay, got it. All right. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Oh my goodness. Is this Michael Stein?
Yes, it is. Usually my assistant answers, but she's over getting coffee right now.
Well, you sound very happy on this Thankful Thursday, Michael. Thank you so much for answering my call while your assistant is out. And obviously, you know what conversation that we are having, or at least I'm hoping you do. And Michael, let me start out with, what caused you to say yes to having this conversation in the first place?
Well, my phone rang.
Your phone rang. Well, and your assistant, did she tell you that this call was happening and the conversation we were having, or you didn't know this call was coming in?
No, I had no idea. The phone rang, and so I picked it up.
Well, thank you so much for picking up the call, Michael. And let me introduce myself. My name is George Weichenberger from the great state of New Jersey. And have you recently heard about this movie, Hail Mary, and our son eaten up by amoebas? Does any of this ring a bell or not?
Having a remarkable likeness to Ryan Gosling, I, of course, am familiar with all of his work.
You are familiar. So, well, from that place, Michael, let me ask you, if you're familiar with the work, you're familiar with this movie, what interest or not do you have at all in saving our planet or saving our sun? Is that something that is of interest to you in any shape or form, or is that like somebody else has got to deal with that problem? I'm not interested. Where would you say you are on that scale?
I think, Bella, like most people, if I had the opportunity to save our species, billions of lives, and prevent not just mass death and extinction of our species, but suffering, I could never say no.
Well, that is a beautiful thing. And I think I heard somewhere that's what pulled you into cardiovascular and saving people's lives and dealing, because there's, if your heart's not beating, we're not living, right?
That and learning all those big words.
Learning all of those big words. Well, Michael, from that place, I know we don't have a whole lot of time today, and thank you so much for taking this call right now. And I do hear your heart of, if there's something that you can do to save our species, or something that you can do to save our planet, it is something that you are interested in. And I have a crazy idea to introduce you, but it is along the lines of saving our planet, saving our species. It could involve even maybe giving up your own life to serve a bigger mission and a bigger purpose. I know we don't have a whole lot of time here today, but I'm just curious, how would it resonate with you or not for us maybe to have about an hour conversation tomorrow? I have a complete slide deck on what it is that we're looking to do, how maybe we could partner, and how you could actually be a huge part and maybe the person. I'm not sure if you are or not. We can find that out in a longer conversation, but you could be the person that helps save our species. Is that even worth a longer conversation? How does that resonate or not?
Oh, when do we launch? Let's go.
When do we launch?
Planet to save.
How about tomorrow at noon? Michael, absolutely fantastic job. I think we got that. Yes, we're going to save the planet. The heart of influence is saving the planet. George, how did I do at causing that? Yes, I'm going to come up with my 26-page slide deck tonight after I watch this movie, now that I know more about it than I did when I was asked to go to the movie. But George, how did that all land for you in that wonderful scenario that you set up?
Michael Stein, God bless you. You are a true patriot of not just this country, but the world. I can't say that your sacrifice will go, unnoticed. There will be statues of you in every elementary school in the country and in the world. I think you had a yes before it started, Bella, which makes it so much easier. But we're thankful that you created a 26-page slide deck that you'll be reviewing with him tomorrow. I'm sure he's going to do great. Enjoy the movie. The book is better, but it's a lovely movie.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that, George.
Because I remind you of Ryan Gosling.
You actually, I thought you were handsomer than Ryan Gosling.
I think you're a spitting image. Michael, thank you so much for being here, bringing your enthusiasm, your wisdom to the show. And Michael, how was your time overall on the Heart of Influence today with Beth and George?
Oh, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Did you guys?
Beautiful.
Sure did.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you, Michael. Let's go, Janet. Janet, great job in the first role play seat, shadowing Michael. I see magic happening here. Janet, thank you for being here. And how was your time overall on George and Beth's Heart of Influence?
I thought it was great. It was a lot of fun. The fun you promised was there, and it was thought-provoking. Yes. So thank you.
Thought-provoking. I love it. Thank you, Janet, for that. Let's go, Shalini, jumping into that role player seat, which is also not easy. Thank you so much, Shalini. And how was your time overall on the Heart of Influence today?
I had a wonderful time. Thank you so much for including me. It was really fun to meet everyone. And Janet, I was so impressed by you and picked up some tips based on the way you presented yourself. So thank you very much.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I'm happy to do that, Shalini. Anytime we can talk further if you'd like.
Yes, definitely connect with you. That is the entire purpose of the show. So thank you for saying that, Shalini. And Marcella, how was your time overall? I don't know that this is as much fun as playing with 5.5 grandchildren, but hopefully you had a little bit of fun today. And how was your time overall in the Heart of Influence?
No, this was absolutely lovely. And I had a question. Where is it being shared? Because you said it was recorded. So where is it being shared?
Yep, there is a unblinded Facebook page and YouTube page. So you'll find them both on there. And then they'll also share highlights. So you'll get an invitation to join a LinkedIn group. Everybody from past participants can join that group. You also see a highlight reel in that. And if you have any trouble, you can email that Heart of Influence email and they'll help you find it as well.
Okay. Are we able to, is it okay if we share like a photo of this, each of us, and tag each other online?
Absolutely.
And chat about what today was so wonderful. And Beth, can I thank you on LinkedIn? Can I say thank you to you and tag you?
You sure should. She'll love that.
Most definitely. And our team should tag you guys as well. And let's go, George, your final on your Heart of Influence.
As always, an amazing room, and great credit to Bella for moderating such a powerful performance for us. Beth, great job of acquiring talented people that would share an hour in this room. Everybody brought it today, and thank you so much for that. We hope this is not the end, and we get to see you at upcoming events in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you, George. And Beth McKenna, your final on your Heart of Influence, please.
This was such a wonderful time that we spent together, and thank you all so much for coming. And I was just really, really impressed, and it was so much fun. And I think we learned a few things along the way. So thank you, and looking forward to seeing you all soon.
Oh, well, thank you, Beth. We absolutely did. And I like to never show, like, don't let this be one of those other networking events that you go to where you met a couple people and you never do anything with. We give you a lot of things, a lot of gifts in the chat. Definitely check out that link. We give those so you can continue the relationships. That's what we're all about here, building long-lasting relationships, not just one-time shared experiences. As I mentioned, there's a LinkedIn group, so you can stay connected in there. Beth and George should be sharing your information with everybody and figure out what those next steps are. And everybody has an opportunity to have a conversation with one of our teammates and Athena. And as Athena said, she will help co-create what that next level of zone action is together, that 0.8% of the more that you can do together. So definitely have that conversation with one of our teammates to see what more there is to do together. And we end every show by saying this: although Sean may be physically blind, sometimes we're all blind to the opportunities right in front of us and just learning